Hello everybody, Ashley here. So today we're going to be doing a speed build of this build that I called the Red Modern. So I'm not much of a builder, but for some reason I was feeling especially inspired and I decided to make a build. So I went with some modern and I actually did more than one build, but this is the only one I decided to do a speed build of because usually my builds don't come out that great. They're actually really sucky, but these ones actually came out good. I have no idea why. I was just feeling inspired apparently, and I did really good. So I decided, you know what, maybe I can actually do a speed build. So as you guys can see, when we first started off here, a bit of the house was actually made, and that is because of the fact that I wasn't sure. I was still kind of weary of making this speed build. So I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to go a little bit into it and place some random things down and see how it kind of goes. And if that goes okay, and I'm kind of liking the way it looks, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start recording the speed build of it. And I was hoping, okay, well, hopefully it stays good, basically. Like, hopefully it keeps going well and doesn't turn out like trash. And it actually did pretty well. So, if you guys are wondering, this is very rough. As you guys can see in the thumbnail, it doesn't look like this at all in the end. I was going for a really modern feel. So I went with the brick, but I ended up changing the brick to red, which looks a lot better. For some reason, it really bugs me, but I can't get that white part out. It just won't let me do the trimming on it, and I don't know why. There was probably a way I could have figured out how to get it out, but I guess because I went with the red brick instead of the brown brick, it doesn't really show up that much. It kind of blends in actually, since it is red brick and it has that white on the side. It doesn't look too bad. So a lot about this build is actually not finalized. You won't see the final part of the build until about halfway into the video because I do change a lot up, and as you guys can see again from the thumbnail, I change a lot. I keep going back out to the interior of the house and changing that up. I keep going back inside and moving things around. I was really focused on trying to make this house a two-bedroom house, and I really wanted to get a lot of aspects in there. For some reason, I couldn't let that dame window go in the front of the building right there. As you guys saw, I keep revisiting it, and I keep trying to figure out how to make it. Like I said, I don't know what I was trying to do with this beginning part. I was thinking like, okay, I would keep the bottom like a one thing and make the top elevated, but as you can see, it doesn't really look that great. I'm really happy with the final build of it though. This is my first time narrating a speed build, so if I am a bit rough in my commentary at all, that is the reason why. I'm trying not to be, and I keep taking sips of water just in case, because my mouth gets really dry when I do this kind of stuff. But anyways, so I do change a lot up like I was saying, and I'm really happy with the way these roofings came out, and also the house next to it is also available on download on my library, so if you guys want to go check that out, I will leave the name in somewhere in the video, so stay tuned for that. It'll probably be at the end, so just skip to the end of the video and you guys will see the name of what my origin ID is, or you guys can check out basically in my bio about me. You guys can find out where my origin ID is if you guys want to follow me or download my content from the gallery. I will be doing more speed builds and more also sim-create-sims or create-sims, I don't know, creative sims basically. It sounds weird when I say it, I don't know why. But yeah, I go with both of the walls on tall, which looks great. At least I think the top wall is on tall. It might be on medium, but I'm not exactly sure. I think it's on tall, but I'm not sure. But I know the bottom floor is definitely on tall. It gives the house a really towering feel to it. When I come up with the doors, actually in the beginning, when I went with those red doors, that's where I actually decided I was going to change the brick to red, which was a great idea. I'm really happy that I came up with the idea from those doors. So as you guys can see, I'm trying to figure out where to place the windows. The windows stay like that for a while before I go back and revisit and change them again. And then I'm kind of looking at the side here eventually too. I'm just like, gosh, you know, the side looks so weird. I'm just like, it looks really lean. I'm not sure if I really like that. So there I go again, trying to place that dumb window over there, just like, gosh, is there any way I could possibly fit in a window right here? Because it looks a little bit lonely without that window there. It's actually a really good idea on my part because it makes the house have a little bit more character to it. When I first added in the window, I tried to change the other windows because I'm wondering if it looks more like a barn house more than a modern house, and maybe if that is better for it because I wasn't sure if it looked too odd or misplaced. By the way, if the speed at all gets rough or if it's too fast, somewhere down the line towards the middle and it gives you guys a headache, I'm not sure if it will or not, so don't take my word on it as it will automatically give you guys a headache. But if it does it all, tell me where it starts and what parts it is so I know where to slow it down because I've never done a speed build like I said before. So I need to know if any of this gives you guys a headache at all. I swear, you guys want to know how dry my mouth gets? My water's almost gone. I have a full glass. Okay, well, the trimming also annoys me too because I was trying to get the trimming so bad. It's so hard to get the trimming in The Sims 4. It really is. I keep trying to click on it and it annoys the heck out of me. You can see me like spamming the heck out of my mouse, like, why aren't you clicking? So, it's kind of like annoying with the trimming of The Sims 4 basically. And also, I go over here and I do add a chimney in, which I thought was really good. It was a good way of me trying to make use of the top room, which you guys will see later on. Also, if you guys see the glitch in the roof, I do not fix that. I just keep it as it is. I'm not sure if it'll annoy you guys or if you guys just noticed it now because I just said it. But anyways, I hope it doesn't bother you now because now you noticed it because like I said it. So, yeah, and then I go over here and I do try to add in a window or something there because again, that wall looks a little lonely without a window there. I don't know why, but I started looking at my build and I'm like, gosh, I'm putting in a lot of windows, don't you think? Maybe too many. I really hate how the windows though, they kind of glue to the sides and it pisses me off. I don't know why, but you guys will definitely see my ADD kick in because I start going over there. I start being really precise with the windows. Like, oh my god, this is like 2 clicks off. I need to fix this. So I go ahead and fix that. A fact with the fence is I wasn't actually planning on keeping it white when I first placed it. I was just placing the fence white just to see how it looked, but then I ended up keeping it because it actually looked good with the white trimming on the side. So it was good that the fence came with white because I probably wouldn't end up doing that otherwise, or maybe I would have trashed fence to begin with because I never would have thought about making it white. I don't add in a window on the side at all because the fact that honestly it keeps sticking into place. I wish that I could just move it and make it however I wanted to, but it doesn't happen. And by the way, earlier I noticed I said ADD instead of OCD. I meant OCD, not ADD. This is, by the way, the part where I start coming in with the roof. For some reason, I don't know why, but you guys will see it's kind of glitchy. Because the fact I do this twice and then suddenly, oh look, now it's a room. It's like, really? So now I'm kind of over here trying to do or figure out what I do. I'm like, oh great. If you guys well, you guys don't know, so I'm going to tell you. But I suck. I completely suck at roofs. That's why I'm so happy that this roof came out good. And then I start trashing the roof, by the way, but I end up fixing it back to the way it looks right now. Or finalizing the roof, too, so it even looks better. But yeah, I try to go with the roof. I'm like, great, so now I have to figure out this roof thing. And then I have this issue with this roof in this white part, which I actually do figure out was I don't know what that is, paneling, I guess. I don't know what the proper word for it is. Flooring. It's kind of across there. I'm like, why the heck is it doing that? So I go ahead and I fix it. As you guys can see, I screwed up the roof. I'm like, great. There we go again. I screwed up the roof. So I decided that I'm eventually going to go ahead and just delete that part, which I do right now. And then I'm like, okay, what the heck am I going to do with that? And that's where I finally get the inspiration to put in a chimney. I don't know how I got that idea. I think I was just looking at the roof part. I'm just like, gosh, what am I going to do here? And then I was just like, oh, look, chimney. But I can't really decide what I was going to do with the chimneys because I was just like, gosh, I can't resize them. I don't know why, but I couldn't resize them. It's really weird because you can resize most of the stuff in The Sims 4, but you can't resize chimneys, which did make sense because I'm pretty sure I saw someone resize the chimneys before, unless they took that out, because I know they took out in the last update. There's actually a lot of patches in the last update, which I apparently ignored and only thought there was like a few things, but there's actually a lot. And they took out the ability for you to hire a bartender whenever you want, which is really weird. I was like, why did they take out that, You'd think that they wouldn't take out content because people complain about The Sims 4 not having content all the time, but they took it out. I gotta tell all of you guys that I wasn't sure. When I keep saying I'm not sure about the speed, the main reason why also I would really like to know if the speed is too slow or if you guys think it could be sped up a little bit more is because I really wanted to make this video shorter than it was because you guys don't know, so I'm going to tell you guys now, obviously. But my editor takes forever to process anything. It takes double the length of the video. So if this video is about 30 minutes long, it's probably going to take actually, it varies. Usually if my video is 30 minutes long, it takes like an hour or two. I'm just like, you're kidding me, right? And that's just a render. I'm not talking about uploading. Uploading doesn't take that long. Also, it's kind of funny too. It's like I hope you guys aren't having to turn down your volume really low because I talk really loud and my editor, for some reason, it's super sensitive to my volume. So I'm talking really loud because I'm being like happy and energetic, basically, right? You know what you'd expect a YouTuber to be, I guess, you know. But anyways, or maybe not expect. I don't know. But I don't know. I say something, I say I don't know, right? Totally makes sense. But as I was saying before I get off subject here, I just forget what I was talking about because I do that a lot. I actually am ADD, so that is probably why I get off subject a lot, but it's not too bad, right? So, anyways, I don't know why the fence did that. So back to my volume. I actually had to repause. I had to pause the video and then go back and make sure I knew what I was saying because I forgot. Like, I actually did forget. So, as I was saying, I hope it's not too loud. Please tell me if there's anything about this video that bugs you guys at all. That is finally where I figured out the front of the house, which looks really great. I'm really happy with the front of the house. I actually paused right there, asked someone in my household if it looks okay because I wasn't sure if I was on the right track with this house. So yeah, I'm just, I probably said that a few times, like, gosh, you're really happy with this house, right? It's not that great. I want to show you guys what I first built in The Sims 4. You're probably gonna be like, oh, well, all first builds suck. But this is like my fifth build. That's why I'm really happy with it. If you guys look at my first build and then you guys look at this build, it sucks. Like, there's a big difference, and I'll show you. And I'm also gonna add little pictures at the end of this video to show you guys the I can't speak, gosh, the finalization of this house. So, because I don't really go ahead and do that, and there actually is a part in the video where I skip ahead because I thought I was recording and I wasn't, and you guys will definitely see that. So, to make this build for me was about, I think, like 2 hours, maybe longer, because I didn't record me decorating the inside of the house, which actually took a while for me to complete. Part you guys don't see me record to the fullest is actually the downstairs. It's not the upstairs. I do actually have me recording for the upstairs, and I do double check what you guys will see. So this is me trying to add more detail to the outside of the house, which I actually end up doing pretty easily. I go with these potted plants. I was going to go with the green, but I thought it blended in too much. I kind of like to stick out. And then I add this little pole right here. I have no idea what it's for, but it kind of adds a little bit industrial, I guess, feel to the house, just a little bit. I almost didn't like the cactus. As you guys can see, I kind of like differed a little bit with taking the cactus in and out. I did it like twice or three times because I wasn't sure. The reason why I differed with the cactus so much is because I felt like it made the build look like it belonged in Oasis Springs too much, and that wasn't really my intent for this house. My house intent was basically, I didn't really actually have a spot where I wanted this house to go. I just kind of used a lot next to it because I was like, okay, well, New Crust is empty, so I could build a New Crust, right? So that's why I decided to actually do that. Lot placement wasn't really for basically Newcrest or any place in particular, but I know that since it is on a sort of like grassy area, that's why I wasn't sure about the cactus. I know it doesn't need, like, you don't need a cactus in your front lawn because you live in a sandbox, or you don't need a cactus in your front lawn, or not need a cactus in your front lawn, rather, because you live in a grass field. It doesn't really matter. I just saw it made the house have too much characteristic that made it look like it belonged there, and people would think it's basically out of place being here. Now, actually, fun fact, I guess. You can call it fun fact, apparently. That's what I'm going to call it anyway. But I suck at kitchens. I really do. So I'm surprised I did pretty well with kitchens. Because in The Sims 4, when I first started out, I hated doing kitchens. I would look inside a house that was empty, and I was like, gosh, this house has to be empty. I suck at kitchens. But this kitchen actually came out pretty decent. It's actually pretty ordinary, to be honest, but it doesn't look that bad either. Like, there's like several occasions when I'm making this build and I swear I think my move objects is on, especially because I can place that little fire. It's I don't know what the heck that's called, fire alert thing. There's probably a name for it, and you're probably thinking, really, Ashley, you don't know the name for that, but no, I don't. To be honest, I don't think about the names of weird things like that. Yeah, I just called it weird. I don't know. So basically, before I lose track again, what I was gonna say. Because of the fact that I could place it right there, I really did think that my move objects were on, or the fact that my plants kept on going into my walls, I thought my moved objects was on. Like, I kept thinking that. I kept trying to turn it off. I'm like, why is it doing this? But I guess that's just how the game is with stuff sometimes. Alright, so here's where we cut, and obviously you're like, whoa, that downstairs is completely finished. We were just working on the kitchen. So it kind of sucks that I wasn't recording that bit. I was kind of a little bit mad at myself, but I'm happy I caught it because I can't imagine finishing this build and then just being like, okay, look, we're doing the downstairs and suddenly everything's finished. That wouldn't go. That just wouldn't go. Gosh, you guys hear me sometimes when I'm trying to speak? Like, geez, like Ashley, take a deep breath or take some water here because obviously you're needing some, right? Okay, so I was looking for that clothes hanger for like the longest time actually, which you guys didn't see because obviously my video cut out. But now we're upstairs, and I was looking for, or do we go? I don't think that was the final placement, was it? Yeah. Oh yeah, it was. Okay, never mind. Because I thought I didn't see myself like place it where I thought I placed it, but I did. That probably just confused the heck out of a lot of people. But I'm sorry. You guys probably have no idea what I just said or what I was trying to get out. But yeah. Let me just explain that really quick. So what I was trying to say was that whole clothes hanger thing, I thought I left it by the fireplace, but I didn't. I left it in the front where actually is the final placing of that, and I thought I didn't leave it there. I was like, wait, I do go back downstairs after I do the upstairs? That confused me for a second. But no, I was right. I don't. I was done with the downstairs. I did place it where I thought it was supposed to be placed. All right, so I'm really wanted. I looked upstairs. I'm like, oh my god, it's so small. So I was kind of like frustrated a little bit. I was like, what am I gonna do here? Because I wanted it to be a two bedroom house, like I said in the beginning. I was almost gonna say I wanted it to be a two-story house. It's like, it is a two-story house. What am I trying to say here? Okay, well, I wanted to make it a two-bedroom house, but I really try and make it a two-bedroom house. It actually is a two-bedroom house because I do figure it out, but I'm not going to tell you guys how I figured it out because then what's the purpose of watching a speed build? I kind of like to leave you guys a little bit hanging slightly. I don't know if that's mean or not, but I'm going to leave you guys hanging slightly. So, also, do you guys notice one big flaw that I am not thinking about in this house? Where the heck is the bathroom, right? If I thought about it and I actually looked upstairs, I would have noticed how small this is. I probably would have actually went back and changed the exterior of the house a little bit, made it bigger because maybe that's the reason why I thought it looked so small because usually, these places have bathrooms and I wasn't thinking obviously. Like for example, downstairs at the fireplace, I didn't know what the heck to do with it. That's why I added the fireplace there. So now I just realized that, hey, you know what? There's no bathroom in this place. What am I thinking? So I'm going over and I'm like trying to make this area a bathroom and thinking about how I'm going to lay out the walls. I'm like, oh my gosh, this bathroom's going to be so small if I try and make it right here. So I just say, you know what, screw it. I'm not gonna do two-bedroom house. Apparently, I need a bathroom now because I wasn't thinking. Like, dang, Ashley, think right. So I decided to make that area right there a bathroom instead of a bedroom. And like I said, I do incorporate the second bedroom though. But this is like, but this is like the bathroom. So, gosh, I really hate it. I really do actually hate it when there's bathrooms upstairs instead of downstairs. Like that is a big pet peeve of mine, I guess you can call it. And I don't know why I'm going with like the cheapest shower ever. I think about it afterwards. I did go with that shower, but as you guys can see, like the first thing I clicked on when I went to do this house, by the way, I keep checking at this point how much we're at basically. So I'm kind of surprised this house actually only came out to about $41,000, which is really cheap. I was surprised because to me it doesn't look like a $41,000 house. It looks more like a sort of a, I don't know, like $100,000 house. For some reason, build to me just didn't seem like it fit the price range. So I'm kind of happy that I kept on the cheaper side, which I wanted to keep. I didn't want to add in more expensive stuff and make the build more expensive because to be honest, most people start out in The Sims 4. They don't, if you play the game and you don't add cheats, you don't have a lot of money when you first start out and getting your house like upgraded and stuff, it plays a big part, and sometimes you don't actually make it all the way to $100,000 until you're way into the game. At least that's me anyways. I don't usually make it to $100,000 until I'm a little bit more into the game. Now, I really like this bed right here. I think it fits really well, but it is not the bed I end up going with. I go with this other bed, which I happen to reuse a lot, probably overuse actually, because that other bed just doesn't have the right color swatches I need. So now I'm kind of looking at this window, and I'm not going to add a dresser. I kind of want to add something that's going to look good from the outside and give it a little bit more characteristic. Because to be honest, this house looks really up and modern, and I wanted to keep that. And I don't know what exactly the right word is, maybe exquisitive sort of feel to it, but that's what I was trying to do, and that is when I start adding in the sort of awning, which I think it's called. I heard the other YouTuber call it that because I was watching our speed build, and that is what she did. She made the a sort of awning, and that's where I got the idea from, honestly, to incorporate that with this window over here. You guys can see when you're looking outside, it looks actually really nice, and the right word for it would actually be sleek modern. I think it is sleek. I hope I'm saying that right. But I'm really trying hard not to have these two blend in together, which I actually do succeed at. Instead, at one point, I was almost like, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna have them do that. Because to be honest, to me, when the furniture kind of just goes in like that, and I don't know, it kind of glitches. It doesn't really look very professional to me. It looks like it's oh my god, Ashley, take a drink of water. Okay, well, take a sip of water, not a drink of water. That's not proper English. So here we go. I decided to add in this very modern sort of dresser, where it's not a dresser, it's a closet. I was gonna go ahead, as you guys see, I revisit the closet. This is where I finally decided, okay, great, I can actually make these two not glitch into each other, which makes it look better. So I'm happy I was able to do that because like I said, it doesn't look very professional made to me. It kind of looks like almost like you took a piece of CC and then you slapped it on. That's why I don't like it. No offense to people who use that or anything like that. It's just my personal opinion. You guys can think whatever you want. But with this closet, I could have went ahead and just like made the wall kind of go across the closet so it looks like it is actually a closet instead of like a closet that you just slapped in there or something. It doesn't have that whole wall space right there. So, but to be honest, I didn't know if it was going to glitch out and it was going to basically interrupt with the build and your sim wouldn't be able to go inside the closet because I don't know how glitchy those things are because I am adding a wall where it's not supposed to be with move objects on, so you never know if that's going to work out or not. So I just add this sort of flower bed on top to add a little bit of something on the top. If you guys don't really like it, you guys can always change it out, and you guys can change anything about this build really when you guys download it. It's totally fine with me. So back to what I was talking about with the bathroom. So I was on a roll with talking about the bathroom, and then I just got off subject. I never went back into it because I just kept on getting off subject as the build was continuing. But anyways, so I was going with the cheapest shower there was because in the other build I was building a starter house, which I was trying to keep things really, really cheap. So you had some money left over, but it basically brings you a brink of like $100 left if you buy that for a starter and you have one sim. So, but anyways, I don't like bathrooms upstairs, by the way, and it's mostly just because of the fact that you have to go upstairs to go use the bathroom and take a shower. I like it to be convenient, so that's the reason why I'm not too ecstatic about how I did that with this build. And right now I'm trying to figure out what sort of daylight savings, what? What sort of daylight time or lighting is going to make this build look the best, because to be honest, to me, it kind of looks like one of those builds that you kind of get and it looks like, I don't know how to explain it, but it looks like it didn't really render all the way, or it looks like it glitched. It almost reminds me of something that I saw in The Sims 3. Basically, when the textures just went load and it looks like they just half loaded and it looks really blurry. That's what the walling kind of looks like to me on this house in the picture, but obviously it doesn't look like that right now. So this is where I finally get, okay, yay, I can add in the stupid bedroom that I wanted to add in, so now I can do two bedrooms. The bedroom's actually really small, but so is the master suite, so I guess, it's whatever. I mean, both like are small. Obviously the master suite's gonna be bigger. So I wasn't sure what to do with this bedroom. It's not too detailed to be honest, because I just wasn't sure how to do it. I'm not very good at making kid bedrooms, and oh, I don't know if I am really good at making kid bedrooms because I don't make them all that often, to be honest. I usually just move into a house. I'm like, okay, here you go. And I don't really style the kid bedrooms until they could become teenagers. I style the teenager bedrooms more. But the smaller the room is, the harder it feels like for me to decorate it. So you guys are definitely going to watch me struggle here trying to make this kid bedroom as it is. I was going to do a teen bedroom because I was like, well, maybe I'll have a better time with the teen bedroom, but then I was just like, gosh, it's so small. What the heck am I going to do with it? And then I realized, okay, I don't really want them to walk into their parents' room just to use the bathroom, so I delete the tub, and I decided to add a door right there. When I originally made the door on the other side, though, I made it see-through because I was like, okay, it doesn't really matter if the door is see-through or not because that's their own personal bathroom. And I wasn't planning on making another bedroom until I finally came up with that idea. Mostly, I could have done that from the beginning, actually. I had the idea, but the reason why I didn't do that was because I looked at the door and I really liked the way the door looked, the outside door. Obviously, I can't show you guys because I'm not playing right now. I'm doing a voiceover of this recording, but the door on the outside that goes out to the porchway or the patio or whatever you want to call it, balcony. There you go, that's the right word. Balcony. I didn't want to move it because I really liked the way it looked so much so that I decided not to move it until like now, until I finally like wanted the room so bad that I was just like, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna move the stupid door. With how many times I've said screw it in this LP, you might as well name the house Screw It because it's like literally I'm like, oh, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna do this. Oh, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna leave the white fence. It's like, really? But anyways, so I'm still doing the house, or well, I'm still doing the room right now. I am a little bit rough coming back to talking because I did just take a break so my mouth could like, well, not my mouth, but my throat, I guess, could just be relieved because I was talking nonstop, and I don't know, I think I just screwed up my commentary by doing that, but oh well, I did it. So now I'm figuring out the flooring over here. I wasn't really sure what to do, and I'm still kind of deciding whether I'm not, it's like, it's really weird the way I was trying to figure out how to do this stupid room because to be honest, right there almost looked like a mix between exactly not exactly like a I'm not sure if I'm exactly a kid, but I feel like a teenager. That's what that room reminded me of. So I ended up going with some flooring here, or well, not flooring, but some carpet over here. We're actually almost done with the end of this build. So I'm about almost done with this kid's room actually, and then we're going to be adding in the lights and doing the backyard because I almost forgot to do the backyard. I was about to wrap up this whole like speed build and I was like, oh wait, yeah, I haven't done the backyard yet, have I? There's actually a lot of room for you to grow in this household, for you to go ahead and decorate as you please. Obviously the porch is empty. There's a lot of space is empty actually, like the hallway over here is also empty. The kids' room can always be turned into an office if you don't have a kid and you don't really want one. You can always do that. Well, I'm not too happy about, honestly, well, I wasn't too happy when I was making it anyways, but I kind of like thought about why. Was I couldn't add a stupid lamp on here. I was like, why can't I add a lamp on the toy chest? I was like, oh yeah, duh, you know? It's because you pop open the lid, so of course Max isn't gonna let you add a stupid lamp on top of the toy chest because that would just look weird. So I'm coming back down here. I'm adding in the lights, trying to figure out, okay, well, I'm trying to make the lights look like they would in a regular house. So it's kind of odd because I have so many doors with windows in them that the light kind of reflects into the other rooms. So I'm trying to think, okay, well, how is it in my house when someone turns on the lights and I'm in my room? So that's why I kind of went off of trying to make it look like that. But honestly, with the last three lights, I was just like, you know what, I'm not going to spend too much time on these lights, so I just put those in. So I'm checking out our balance over here again. So obviously you guys can see we're at 42,000. So it's going to be about around 43,000 house after I put in these trees and stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and back over here and I'm going to put in this bush again, kind of keeping with the whole like naturey aspect of the house. I was trying to find those stupid leaves I put in the front of the house until I just decided, you know what, I'm not going to sit here and try to keep going through and putting these like and find these leaves. So I'm just going to go back to the front of the house and copy them. So that's exactly what I did. And then somehow I get the idea of putting the flowers underneath the trees. I have no idea why or how I got the idea, but I did. And I'm actually pretty happy with it. So now I go overhead and I just put some dirt to make it a little bit more realistic because honestly there's usually dirt around where you plant stuff. So I had dirt by the cactus and it actually came out pretty flawlessly for the dirt. I usually have to go back and really erase and then reapply the dirt until I get the way I want it to look. But it came out pretty well actually. It was like really quick. Alright, so that's the end of this, so I hope you guys all enjoy. Please sub if you guys like this and want to see more from me. Comment, rate, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys all next time or in my future LPs or in my LPs I have now. And I realize I've been calling it Red Modern, it is called the Modern Red. Alright, hope you guys all enjoy. See you next time.